What is going on, everybody? This your man Dre Mac with another episode of the Dre Mac Show. We are doing the Goonies today on just a peek on throwback movies. Goonies is a classic, so gotta talk about that with my special guest, of course, Meka G, First Lady of Popcorn in Your Beard and Blues House Live. We're gonna get into it. You know what I mean? And also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Don't forget, give this video a thumbs up if you like the videos and everything. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Put it in the comment section. Do you like Goonies? Is it a classic for you? Is it something that you like to have fun when you're watching? Does it give you nostalgia if you're old enough, or does it give you a good glimpse back into the 80s and see about the 80s aesthetic? So make sure to put that in the comment section. I forgot to put the music back on. But yeah, make sure you guys put that in the comments section. You know what I'm saying? Let me know. Of course, there's some upgrades going on. So you hear the new music, you hear everything. So let's go ahead, let's get into this video. But the real question is all right, let me bring in my special guest. Of course, as always, Meka G for Popcorn in Your Beard and Blues House Live. What is going on?
What's up? What's up? What's up? Thank you for having
Oh,
me on again.
of course, of course. So today we are doing the 1985 movie The Goonies, a complete throwback of 1980s nostalgia, the teen angst, kids going on adventures, the whole nine is in this. I like literally, it's literally like Stand By Me meets Indiana Jones.
Yes,
In the,
yes,
in
yes. Okay,
the,
that is a good. That is good. That's
yeah,
good. That's a good
yeah.
comparison.
Yeah, so there's a lot in this movie. It's very fun, very 80s nostalgia. Mika G, tell everybody if they don't know you by now, let them know who you are and something about this movie before I kind of go into the synopsis of it.
So, if you don't know who I am, like Dre said, I am the First Lady of Popcorn and Beard. I'm also a co-host on Blues House Live, so you can catch both of those shows on YouTube. Blues House Live, BLU House Live. If you cannot spell blue, do not follow the show, as Dre would say. Popcorn in your
Follow
beard.
it.
Popcorn in your beard. Popcorn in your beard. I know I don't have a beard. It just
Well,
happened. But yeah.
I guess it's popcorn in your bra, unless you have a beard in there. Now, if you have a beard in there, it's some conversations you need
It's
to
some
be having.
problems. It's some issues. But
It's
I love
about,
this movie. I never really I was just telling someone the other day I haven't watched this movie as an adult. But going back and watching it, I remember like watching this, you're right before school, get ready to let out. You ain't doing nothing in class. Your teacher throw this movie on, and ain't nobody paying attention to it, but the few of us. So yeah, this is definitely a fun movie.
yes, it is a movie that has every 80s stereotype in it. Every 80s stereotype in it, except for the black. The black dude is not in this one, of course. So they switched the
There
black
is
dude
no
with
black kid in
yeah,
this
but they switched the
movie
black kid with the Asian
with
kid.
the Asian kid. Yes.
Yeah, who is the town's Batman because this man has Data has more gadgets on his utility belt than Batman does, and is
He's a
also
walking Inspector Gadget.
he literally he got the trench coat on. Yeah, the only thing he's missing is the hat because he's
Right.
literally Inspector Gadget. Got the trench coat on, got everything on. But I think that's what makes this movie so funny and so fun in that regard because it's a hodgepodge of a lot of things
Mm-hmm.
for 1985, and I think that's why it's a classic, and that's why I really like it. So let me kind of go over the synopsis. We got to talk about the directors, the writers before we kind of go into the actual movie because this literally has when I tell you the Goonies has a all-star cast, It
Mm-hmm.
literally has a all-star cast of directors and producers and literally every Thanos is in this movie. You know what I mean?
Thanos is in this movie.
Thanos is in this movie. Young Thanos. You know what I mean? Young Thanos is in this movie. So let me just kind of give a synopsis of this. Is a group of young misfits called the Goonies discover an ancient map and set out on an adventure to find legendary pirates' long lost treasure. They don't tell you why they're why they're getting that treasure either, which is one of the highlights of the film. So let me just kind of give the storyline, and I'm quoting from IMDb. Mikey and his friends have always wanted to go out on an adventure. One night, they're all in on Mikey's attic, and Mike stumbles across an old map. Mikey has always wanted to know if One Eye Willie ever was a real person, and now he might. They set off and later realize they have to go through the evil Mama Fratelli's restaurant to get a secret passage to the caves. As they try to get into the caves, Mama Fratelli catches Chunk in it, and he is left behind, which is one of the highlights of the film. I'm not lying. And then he meets Slop, one of Mama Fratelli's sons, with a messed up face. He befriends Slop. Meanwhile, Mama Fratelli and her sons are trying to get to the treasure. Will the kids make it there before Mama Fratelli does? Will Chuck ever get out of her basement? And that is a small plot synopsis. So let me get to the cast and the director. I mean, first of all, Richard Donner is the one who directed this film. If you don't know who Richard Donner is, all you got to think is Superman. And you know he was the director of the Superman films. Christopher Columbus and Steven Spielberg wrote it. Kathleen Kennedy, who is one of the heads of Disney in the Star Wars division, is actually a producer on this film. And then the cast itself is nuts. Like literally, these kids. Sean Astin, who played Mikey, we all know him. If you haven't seen Lord of the Rings, something is wrong with you. He was Lord of the Ring before Lord of the Rings in this movie. Josh Brolin, obviously Thanos and from Dune and from everything. Corey Feldman is in there, and don't know who Corey Feldman is. It's literally Corey Feldman and Corey Haim was the epitome of 80s, from Lost Boys, License to Drive, stuff that I used to love. We got to, I think one day we got to do License to Drive because I haven't seen that since I was a kid. And that was one of my favorite movies as a kid. I don't know why, because that was a long time ago, but I'm gonna have to go back and see if I can watch that. And if you want to do that one, I mean, this is we're really literally doing 80s stuff. I just noticed that.
We do a lot of 80s movies.
Yeah, License to Drive is a classic though. You got Corey Feldman, Jeff Cohen. If I'm not mistaken, he's one of the Cohen brothers too. The writers to do a lot of I gotta see, but he ain't Chucky no more because he plays Chucky here. Kerry Green, Martha Plimpton is in this. I think it's Ki Hao Kwan, who was
he's the kid in the Indiana Jones movie.
Yeah, Roundtree, yeah. And he's also in Everything All at Once too, the Academy Award-winning film. Joe, I can't, how you pronounce it? Pantialino. He was okay. He was the captain on Bad Boys.
Yes,
he's in this movie.
Yes,
he's one of the Mama Fratelli's son. If you don't recognize him, you really don't, unless you kind of stare kind of hard. But yeah, Robert Davey is in it. Ann Ramsey is Mama Fratelli. Lupe Ontiveros was Rosalita, which I'm going to talk about. Oh boy, I'm going to talk about that. Marianne Chandler was Mrs. Wash. You know what I'm saying? And I want to say Kirk Hansen and Steve Anson is also in this movie. Now, let's kind of get to some of the things. Let me ask you, watching this now as an adult, did you critique it a little more, or did you kind of just be like, it's the '80s? I'm just gonna let it fly. I'm gonna let it fly. What did you kind of get out of watching it as an adult?
I mean, with any 80s movies, I mean, like any movie that you go back and watch, you can't critique it to today's standards. Because if you do, then you don't enjoy the movie, right?
Right.
So when I watched it, like I critiqued it, I just kind of put myself in the mindset of, I'm sitting in class with my other classmates and we're watching the Goonies. And like just reliving like that nostalgia feeling of like just watching, just enjoying a movie, right? So I think a lot of people go and watch 80s movies like this with the 2020, 2023 mindset and think like, man, this is stupid. You know what I'm saying? You're like, it was made in the 80s when it
Right,
wasn't stupid.
right, right. And especially with a lot of the antics that goes on, which a lot of people probably would get a lot, you know, real sensitive. I mean, you literally have a disfigured man that they're making fun of in this
Right.
movie,
He's
and
chained to a chair in the basement.
chained to the chair in the basement. Which they did, they kind of like did that on Harold Kumar go to White Castle. They kind of did that kind of look. Um, you have, of course, Chunk, which is it's like in every movie, whether it's especially in the '80s, wherever it's Monster Squad, whether it's Stand by Me, Stephen King's they always
Mhm.
made fun of the fat kid.
There,
It
ha- there has it. There is at least one chunky kid
Yeah, at least
in the crew.
one.
At least one.
At least one.
Sandlot,
Sandlot, yes. Sandlot is what? Is the '90s or '80s? No, it's '90s, early '90s,
early '90s, I
early
believe.
'90s. And but what separates Chunk from any other fat kid? I hate to say that. Besides the kid from Monster Squad, his comedic timing, Jeff Cohen's comedic timing is so on point. It's
Hmm.
absolutely ridiculously hilarious. Like, okay, so in the beginning, Corey Feldman's character, Mouth, is trying to get him to go, come in. And first of all, why do they have the mousetrap contraption to get somebody to open the door? This
I think
literally looks like mousetrap.
I think it's their dad because their dad was like a scientist or something like that. I don't. I'm
I
gonna
don't
assume
know.
that.
I don't know.
But
But
you gotta do the truffle shuffle.
you had to do the truffle shuffle, which again is funny. It is, and you can tell this is why I really, really, really enjoy a lot of '80s movies. This kid was having the time of his life.
Yes.
Jeff Cohen, he took everything. First of all, you can cuss. Because every kid is cussing in front of their mama. The neighbor's kid is cussing in front of their mama. You could not, as a kid from the '80s, you could not do that in a black home. You never see, I'm telling you, go watch any movie from the '80s and see how many black kids cussing in front of their mamas. It's not happening. From breaking or whatever you want to, it ain't happening in front of black folks. You would get popped in the mouth. These kids is cussing, they having a good time. But again, I think that was the charm of this, is because he could do, because of the comedic timing, you could kind of play off of this. So he had him doing the truffle shuffle, all that. He's having a ball. He gets in there. They break the little vase of Michelangelo's vase, and he puts the painting upside down. Hilarious. Hilarious.
It's like you think your mom's gonna notice? He's trying to talk with a mouthful of food. Like, bruh. You think your mom will not? What?
Right. Like, what are you talking about? And he was like, if it's supposed to go on, and Josh Brolin's comedic time, it was funny because he was supposed to, kind of play like he is a loving older brother. I do look
Mhm.
like that aspect. That they made him play the loving older brother instead of like the antagonist older brother, because he
Right, right,
loved his
right.
little brother. You know what I mean? And he was like, if it was supposed to go upside down, you'd be peeing in your mouth. What are you doing? Hilarious. Hilarious. Um, I'm trying to see if he's one of. I was actually pulling up Jeff Cohen. I didn't know he was that short. But I wanted to say he was part of. I thought he was one of the Coen brothers. But no. Then you got Mikey, which Mikey is basically the main character. But
Mm-hmm.
Mikey has a similarity to another character from another movie, and that's it. Steve, first of all, him and his mom messes up on the way that they talk and pronounce words, which is hilarious. That's a good. A lot of people don't do that when they have a character trait in a
Mm-hmm.
movie. You never see where the character trait comes from. Like you might have you might have a character who has a list, but everybody else in the family talks normal. In this
Mm-hmm.
one, every time Mikey messes up a word, and somebody corrects him, he was like, say
That's
the
what I.
word and, and say
That's what I said.
that's what I said. And you notice his mom does the same exact thing, which
Mm-hmm.
was I love that little character detail, that little hint of, hey, we're paying attention to our movie. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was awesome. So Mikey is your main character. They go up into the attic where his dad is an archaeologist or
Yeah.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
his
Like works
dad
at a museum, collects all these artifacts, has all these artifacts that
is
belong in a museum in his
in his
attic.
attic. That's what I thought about. Like, okay, it's in the attic. Why do you
That's why
have?
that's you might, but that's the crazy thing because they was about to get I ain't gonna say evicted, but they was about to get pushed up out of their home. So I'm just
Yeah,
saying, Mikey's dad went to the museum and was stealing
and
stuff.
stealing. He was stealing.
He was racking up. You
He
know what I'm saying? Because
was
he was gonna
stealing.
sell all this stuff on the black market.
And what's crazy is that it's it's another play, and this is something that a lot of '80s films do that I wish they kind of did now, where they have a situation like in here. Basically, their homes are really literally getting taken because they're trying to build a shopping center or mall or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and they have to get enough money to these real estate agents to be able to save their home. But and I guess the lead to get to their home is Mikey's dad. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? He's the lead one, even though he got like $100,000 worth of stuff in his attic that he could have sold. You know
Sold it
what I
on the black
mean?
market.
He could have sold all of it. You know what I mean? Nah, he wanted to keep it so everybody lose their house. Then Mikey has to snap on people like, my dad's gonna do it. You just watch. So they found the treasure map because Chunk and he did it right on cue because he was like he counted down 3, 2, 1, and he drops it, finds the treasure map. But before we get to any of that, the movie starts off with attempted a fake suicide.
Mm-hmm.
The man is sitting up there. This is literally we going about 2.5 minute mark, and the man sitting up there look like he's dead from hanging. This is how your classic '80s movie start.
Yeah.
It is all a ruse. And first of all, this is the worst town on. This is up there with Angel Grove as far as the incompetence of the police, the incompetence of the jail. It's supposed to be the county jail, and my man is only 4 officers working that day. It's only 4, and my man. First of all, you don't walk in when you see somebody hanging and see. I want to know if he's dead, and then dude fakes it. Escapes. First of all, who is not watching this man pour gasoline over the front of the county jail? This is literally the beginning of the movie.
And this place ain't called the Goondocks for nothing.
Man, I mean, seriously, like I was watching it, and I'm like, is nobody paying attention to this? There's nobody who's paying attention to what's going on in county jail because there's not enough people in this town, I guess, to fill out the county jail. I guess I was on the chopping block too because they was like, I ain't coming to work today. No, I quit. My house about to be gone anyway, so I quit.
Hey,
So
sound like it.
the what is it, the Fratellis? Is it the Fratellis? Am I
Yes,
pronouncing that right?
Fratellis.
Yeah, the
Definitely
Fratellis.
Fratellis. Mm-hmm.
obviously are a crime family because they was in the newspaper, and I don't know if you seen this shot, Mika, but on the scene where they grabbed the newspaper, right?
Mm-hmm.
Unemployment's up, and then that's on the main thing. Unemployment is up. Fratelli crime family selling lard. They shooting at these people driving down the street in a residential neighborhood, shooting
Mm-hmm.
at folks trying to get the Fratellis. But everybody and their mama is at the doom buggy 4-wheel drive race on the beach. This is why I love the 80s. They don't do stuff like this now. They would not do a movie like this.
Chunk going straight to the window with his pizza in his hand, like, hey, there's a car chase going on.
First of all, he drops his milkshake. It falls on his clothes. 3 scenes later, it's clean. So this man went to the dry cleaner or swapped his shirt from the time he left the pizza thing to go over Mikey's house.
Maybe he went home.
He had to. He go get the same shirt. First of all, I could believe you had to save 2 shirts in the 80s. I'm not. There's weird things that I'm not joking.
Okay.
I remember growing up and have like 2 Dukes of Hazzard shirts. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know why I have 2 of the same Dukes of Hazzard. They were not taking it back. They just got it out of layaway. They gave me an extra one. They died.
Hey,
They're died. So I could believe Chunk went home and changed his shirt.
he went home and changed clothes, and then he showed up.
And then he showed up. But the Fratelli family got away for going in on a 4-wheel drive just 4-wheel drive race on the beach. That's how they got away. I don't know nobody. They got pictures of all 3 of them. They don't know where they stay. I want to say this is on Rhode Island, right? That's what it looks like. It looks like Rhode
It looked
Island.
like Rhode Island, like or some similar, northeastern town, like
Mhm.
on the beach.
Now they
They
almost
probably right next door to Amityville. Like,
so they almost run over Rosalita. And my man Mouth, first of all, y'all don't know how big Corey Feldman was in the 80s. Corey Feldman was so big. He had lines where this lady was looking for drugs in the house and knew where to stash it. In
but he
Spanish.
was so slick with it because the mom was like, she was like, do any of y'all know Spanish? And he was like, I do. And he spoke Spanish
Spanish
fluently, but was
fluently.
like, because he knew the mom didn't understand what he was saying, he told this woman at the end, if you don't clean this house, they're gonna lock you in here with no food or
Boy,
water. And she was like, but the
these
crazy part about it
boys.
is he told her all this stuff, and she
She
still
still
decided to work for this family.
she's still first of all, you got a lady speaking Spanish that you hired. How did you translate it? I want to know who translated this to come work for her in the first. Did she take an ad in the paper? How did she get? And she almost got ran over at the beginning of the movie, going to their house. Uh,
She's like, this is Rosalita. She don't speak no Spanish, and she don't speak no English. And she had a Spanish translation book in her hand, so that's probably how she did it.
mm-hmm. Yeah. Um, let me get to some. Okay, let's get to the adventure part of this movie because we get to the point where they find the treasure. Well, they find the treasure map, which I'm going to read some trivia. According to Sean Exon, he was allowed to keep the treasure map used in the film. Several years later, his mother, Patty Duke, discovered it and thought it was a crinkle piece of paper and threw it in the trash can. Could you imagine coming home? Well, first of all, your mom's Patty Duke, which is kind of awesome because she had a show back in the day. But she threw away your map. Parents, we just keep throwing away our kids' stuff. Come on now. Would you be mad?
If it's on the floor, it's going in the trash.
How would you, Mika? How would you would have reacted to you got this $100,000 piece of, memorabilia, and your mama throw it away?
I mean, in that sense, I mean, damn, I'm like, damn, mama, you know you gotta replace that, right?
Mama, mama, you know I hate you.
Not you didn't lie. You.
um let me okay, so the treasure part of this, and I think this is where the movie kind of ups its ante,
Mm-hmm.
because all the kids uh start coming together now, as far as Josh Brolin was dating can't think of the girl's name offhand. I'm still trying to, still waiting for
Carrie Green's character.
Gary Green's character, yeah.
Mm-hmm. He
Was
wasn't dating her. I think she had a crush on him, and
mhm,
but she was also she was dating like you know how these '80s movies are. It has to be a jock who
mhm,
doesn't like the other, who doesn't like the brother. He doesn't like Brand. He didn't like
mhm,
Brand, and so but the girl that he likes the jock.
yeah.
But then the jock does something stupid, and then now she doesn't like the jock anymore. Now she's like, oh, I think Brand is so cute, and her friend is like, oh my god, like
Mhm.
pick a dude,
Andy.
pick a dude.
Yeah, that was Andy. Andy goes on an adventure along with Steph, which Steph is also your typical 80s character also.
Sidekick.
Yeah, the sidekick.
She's the
The
sidekick.
and I hate to say it like this because they did, you could tell Andy was supposed to be the cute, you know what I'm saying, girl, and Steph was the sidekick that wasn't that attractive because she wore
Mm-hmm.
glasses and had short hair. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Which in the scene where they go into the house is hilarious because they step on a rake with fish heads on it and they completely freak out. First of all, who put the fish heads there on a rake? How bad did you hate this rake? Did you like, I'm gonna stuff fish heads on it? That's how bad
That's the
this mug is.
Fratellis. Mm.
It's the Fratellis, you're right. Tell what did you think about the Fratelli family? The Mama Fratelli, Jake, and Francis.
Dysfunctional as hell. Okay, you got this. You obviously have a mother who has three boys, and one of them is he has a deformity, and she treats him like garbage. She treats her other
For
boys
real.
like she treats him like he's like nothing. And the other two boys get more praise, and even out of the two of them, she favors one more than the other one.
Yeah,
So
because she favors Jake
dysfunctional as
more.
hell.
She favors Jake more than anybody.
Right, right.
There's a I don't know if you caught this, but I caught it. There's a scene where Jake is getting Chunk, right? Well, Francis goes in they go to snatch up Chunk, but he's singing. You
Mm-hmm.
look at the frame, he starts singing, but there's one where he's in a mirror and his mouth is clearly not moving, but he's still singing. And then they cut him back to sing. This is why I love movies, because you look at the goofs, you can clearly see a lot of them in this movie. It is glorious because they just run with it, and that's why I like Christopher Donner as a director. First of all, Christopher Columbus wrote this, and if you don't know, Christopher Columbus wrote Home Alone. He wrote the first Harry Potter movie. Matter of fact, he was the director. Let me take that back. He was the director of the first Harry Potter movies. I think he co-wrote also that first Harry Potter movie too. They just they knew that this was silliness. They knew this was
Mm-hmm.
goofy. They let a
Mm-hmm.
lot of stuff just go in. I believe, like, as a director and as a moviegoer, you really love that because they're not taking it so super seriously. And I
Right,
believe,
right.
and this is to me, and anybody in the comment section, y'all can tell me if I'm wrong. This is, I think, is the thing about the 80s movies and some of the early 90s movies, like we did Power Rangers, the movie. You
Mm-hmm.
can't just have fun and be silly with this stuff because we take it so seriously now. Oh, they're not doing what I want them to do in my universe, and they're not doing this, and why this character looks like that. They were having fun. they were having so much fun that a lot of even the goops you can kind of catch if they
Hmm.
just let it roll. What do you say about that?
I think when they were just editing, it was just like, yo, all right,
Leave it
okay,
in.
move on.
Leave that in. That's funny.
Leave that in. Hey, people catch it, they catch it. This movie was supposed to be fun. You
It's
know what I'm saying? It
supposed to
was
be
supposed to be.
fun.
I mean, we've all had that one desire to go on an adventure like the Goonies. You know what I'm saying? You want to create. You
Oh
find an old treasure
yeah.
map, and you're like, yo, let's go find this treasure, yo. you know.
Man, especially being a kid, being a little kid in the 80s, going into preteen and stuff like that in the 90s. I don't know how many times I got on my bike with my made up nunchucks that I cut out of a old broom, you know what I'm saying, with the hook
Mhm.
on it and and a chain. Oh yeah, I was over there. I was over there making my own weapons. You know what I'm saying? And we went on our little adventure around the neighborhood. Either we was looking for crawdads on the creek or whatever. And so happened we ran across whatever. It was our own adventures.
Yep.
We don't have we don't have those these days. I don't think we do that now. We don't show that now. Do you think? I mean, are we that hyperbolic now that if you do something, you're gonna get sick, you're gonna die? You know what I'm saying? The pandemic made it even worse. We used to
Mhm.
ride on the back of trucks. We used to ride bikes with no helmet, even though you're not supposed to do that. And I'm not. And I do. I got a song called "Kids Don't Ride Without Your Helmet." But I'm just, but I'm just saying, it's just like you could just Josh Brolin sold the little girl bike and just was like, I'm about to find them, and nobody had a problem. What happened to us? Maybe I'm
It
tripping, but what happened to us?
I don't think anything happened to us, you know what I'm saying? It's just the way society has changed. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, we used to ride bikes with no helmets. Like even though
Yes.
they used to we even though the commercials would come on TV and tell us we
Mm-hmm.
need to have a helmet on.
Mm-hmm.
We say F that helmet. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
it's just one of those things. Like and now that you mention it, like you don't really see a lot of movies like the Goonies. You know what I'm saying? Or
Mm-hmm.
you don't see a lot of movies like Stand By Me. You don't see a
Mm-hmm.
lot of movies like The Sandlot. Kids don't
Mm-hmm.
go outside and play no more now. You got movies where we trying to find out who's the best video game player. Wait a minute now. Like it's very rare I mean it's very very rare that you're going to find any movies like the movies that we grew up on because let's just be honest, our parents and their parents was probably like go outside, don't come back.
Man, as long as I came home before the street lights came on, I was Gucci. That means I
Exactly.
can literally get up. This is how cool. This is how cool it used to be a kid back in the 80s and 90s. You woke up. I used to wake up around like 8 o'clock in the morning because, or a little earlier than that because I wanted to catch my Saturday morning cartoon, my bowl of
Mm-hmm.
cereal. After all the cartoons was done, and they played an info commercial right before they got to whatever's gonna happen on whether it was basketball or football on Sundays. Look, going outside, and I literally we could go outside all back in the day. You literally can go outside all day long, go around the neighborhood. Ain't nobody asking where you been, what you did, who you with. It sounds irresponsible now. Now that I say that out loud as a parent, I'm like, that sounds irresponsible as
I
hell.
mean, but
But
as
I'm
long as we
here.
came, we came. As long as we came home safe,
Yep, we
you know what I'm
came home
saying.
safe. We
They
go.
don't. They that does sound bad. They didn't care
It
what we was
does.
doing
It
in them
does sound. It
streets.
does sound bad because we was for the street, son. We was.
We was in them streets.
But I think what the cool thing about it though is that you know we had so much trust from our parents that we knew we was in the neighborhood. It was a bunch of
Hmm.
neighborhood kids. We ran around. We rode our bikes. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
We went and played in the yard and had the water hose going before water was like how much did I pay for my water bill? I'm just saying. Yeah, but I cut that water off. But back in the day, you could use as much water as you want. Where Sesame Street had to tell us to stop using so much water.
Facts.
Yeah, and I wish I was making this up, but I'm not.
Yep.
Literally, Sesame Street had to tell us to stop using so much water
They did. They had to tell us.
because we would be in the yard playing hot, sweaty, funky, all of that. We get that water hose, drink from the water hose, spray our friends. We ain't funky no more because we done spray. Then we went right back in the heat, got funky some more, and then when we got inside, we were told we smelled like
Like
outside.
outside. You smell like outside. Go get your behind in the shower.
Get in that tub, boy. You smell like outside. Okay. You know what I mean? But I mean, so I want to say a lot of and again, I think a lot of the movies now are so like so super serious. They don't
Mm-hmm.
especially like we are in a hyperbolic time now where everything is just critiqued to the extreme. So
Right.
you don't have a way for you to have fun without somebody saying it's dumb. Without
Right.
that doesn't make sense. That's stupid. Why
Right.
would they do that? But then you turn around and go right back to the 80s. And like I said, you watch Stephen King's It, you
Mm-hmm.
know, you watch the Goonies, Monster Squad, Stand by Me, what's some other movies that was like E.T. The E.T. was in that round because all the kids in the neighborhood was kicking it
Right.
and was like, yo, as long as ET can make our bikes fly, we with you, son. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? And then next
Right.
thing you know, they all flying in the air. I'd be scared
Right.
to death because man, bikes hurt. Bikes hurt.
What did the magic wear off?
Man, I mean, ET getting these hands. You know what I mean? ET is getting these hands. You know what I mean? Shout out to the mother who played the mother on ET, graduated from Wanda High School, KCK. Shout out, big
Oh
Wanda in the
God.
house. Yeah, trust me because I won the best. I won the best male acting award in my high school. They was like, oh, so and so went here and this, that, and the other, and she was famous for ET. I was like, well, I need to be famous, son. Hollywood. No, no, let me not say that. No, because I'll
Mm-mm.
be on a Tubi movie next. All right. So, okay, give us some of your thoughts on the adventure part. If you can see in the background, I kind of got a little bit of that playing. The Goonies playing in the background since I don't have a shirt. Shout out to your Goonies shirt. That is dope. With the antics and the hijinks on the adventure, describe like to the people your thoughts on just how the antics went in this movie.
I mean, it's if you. I'm going well for people who've never seen an 80s movie. Normally an 80s movie, like when they're going on adventures or whatever, they run across like all kinds of things. So the adventure part of this is to me the best part of the movie because there's like booby traps there, or what do they call it, booty traps, I think that's what they call, or boob like I
Booby.
don't know, anyway. And then that's when the little Asian kids like, that's what I said booby traps, and it was like what. So they run into like all kinds of hijinks, like the Dre was just showing the scene where they thought if they pulled on they banged on the pipes in the underneath that people would hear them, and they didn't realize that all the pipes was connected to some country club that was underneath them, and
Hilarious.
and they
The
was smacking
scene
people
was
in their
so
face.
that scene is so funny because and that's the scene where the pipes burst.
Yes,
Oh
yep,
my
yep,
god, that scene is
yep,
hilarious.
yep.
The guy
And the
is
scene,
sitting on the toilet.
yeah, right. He's like, Daddy.
But it's funny because you actually see the ejector part of the seat in the scene, which after she explains some of the hijinks on the adventure, I'm gonna get to a lot of the goose because the goose are the goose.
Right. And then like so when they actually like get to the actual treasure part of it, it's so short lived because they run into the Fratellis like so fast. And it was just like, they try to grab as much as they could, but then they ended up not getting their treasure. Like, I mean, they did, but they didn't. So, like, but everything leading up to that is like the best part of the movie because there's, like I said, there's all kinds of traps and things that they run into. But you could tell, like, it kind of brings them closer together as well too. So in the adventure part of it is the part that kind of just makes them who they are.
Yeah, absolutely. And also on there they, of course they meet um what's his name, with the messed up
Sloth.
sloth. Good God, I couldn't think of that. Think of his name because I'm trying to I'm going to go over a couple things that if you didn't know, now you know. Um, they meet him, and Chuck is the first one who befriends him, which
Mm-hmm.
is almost. I mean, what is the movie where the guy had elephantitis?
The
Uh,
Elephant Man.
it wasn't. No, it wasn't the elephant. It was from the 80s. He had the deformed
Oh, Mask.
mask.
Mask, which is an awesome movie, by the
It's
way.
really, oh my
Really,
God,
really
it's
good.
really, really, really good, deep movie. Very,
Yes.
very deep movie. See, the
Mm-hmm.
80s got some hits that people are asleep on. There's a very
Yeah.
good deep dive into that movie. So yeah, Mass. And on even though it's played for laughs, they kind of do the same thing because they've been having this guy down in the basement for God knows how long because he's deformed.
Mm-hmm.
And Chunk, this is why I love Chunk is the highlight of this movie. I don't care what nobody says. Cause Chunk is the coolest dude he's the friend that you want to kick it with because he's gonna have you laughing, he's gonna kick it with you, he's gonna have fun. He befriends Sloth and becomes Sloth's friend. I think he gave him what, a baby Ruth?
A Baby Ruth.
Ruth, and that's how they became cool. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? With his Superman
He's like,
shirt
"You want
on.
a Baby Ruth?" He was like, "Baby Ruth."
Yeah, guys, and this is why I love this movie because again, I said Richard Donner created did the first Superman movie,
Mm.
and he has on a Superman shirt with his overalls. You know what I
Yes.
mean? And the Fratelli family. First of all, this is something that I noticed. So when Data pulls out his Inspector Gadget kit, hits himself in the face with the with the boxing glove. Mama Fratelli got the heat on. She got the long John Dillinger on her. You know what I mean? The dirty hair didn't shoot this kid, or they just waited for the kid to pull out. Them kids would have been done, son, if it was me.
She waited for him to reload the ejecto seat.
Right. As he hit himself and was like, and stuffed it back in his
She
thing.
waited for him
She
to reload
waited.
it.
They all sat there and was like, I wonder what he's gonna do.
Right.
Again, this is the epitome of the 80s. And I know that we sometimes because I did this with Fresh Prince, I be like, man, nobody talks like that, nobody acts like that. Nobody would do that except in the 80s.
Yeah.
And she said they all sat there like, I wonder what he's gonna pull out next. You know what I mean? It did tase the dude in the nuts. Like with triple, this dude got AA batteries around his chest and has enough voltage to shot dude in the nuts.
But
Like
didn't have enough voltage to keep the lights on
lights
when they
on.
needed.
Like what is going on? And again, this is why a lot of 80s movies are so fun to watch because you can't take it seriously. If
Right.
you take a 80s movie seriously, just I don't you just go in the corner somewhere. I ain't gonna say the other stuff. Just go in the corner somewhere. Because you need your laugh button needs to be maybe your laugh button has the same AA batteries that my man Data had on and it just ain't working right now. You gotta stuff it back in. But that scene cracked me up so bad because she's sitting there with the gun and they all waiting. Like, I wonder what he's gonna
She was
do.
like, she's like,
And
okay.
and she is so funny in this movie. Mama Fratelli, which is Ann Ramsey. Ann Ramsey was also um in Throw Mama from the Train. One of my favorite when I used to sit down and watch a movie with my auntie. Throw Mama from the Train was one of the ones she used to have. My auntie, I knew she was getting bootlegs because we have three on the tape. So throw mama from the train, she devil. I still remember. I cannot believe I still remember this. It was she devil, throw mama from the train, and oh, what was the other? What was the movie? Well, not Dennis the Menace, but the other kid, Problem Child. Problem Child, She Devil, Throw Mama for the Train was on one tape. I still
Mm.
remember because we used to watch that all the time. And Mama Fratelli, Ann Ramsey, which played Mama Fratelli, was in that. And she's amazing just because she's a great character actor. She is amazing in this
Mm-hmm.
movie, just being who she is. You know what I
Right.
mean? Again, this movie has a lot of theatrics, a lot of fun stuff. My man Chuck back there. Now that scene that you see behind me is hilarious because he's trying to get information and he would not.
He's
He
like,
would say
tell us everything. He was like, in first
first
grade,
grade.
I did this. In second grade, I did this. And they was like,
My mama sent me to a fat camp, and I went, and I just picked out on everything, and they kicked me out. That's why I said
I
he
don't see how
is
they
the
helped his
highlight.
laughs. I couldn't. I would have busted out laughing every scene. Like he would have been. He said they're fake crying too. And then in fifth grade, like what grade are you in, Chunk? Like for real? Like are you? Because he was like he went from first grade to the fifth grade. Are you a sixth grader or a seventh grader?
Chunk is, I'm telling you, Chunk is so much the highlight of this movie. Every scene he's in, he chews it up. And I guess he was thinking, this is going to be my last movie. I'm going to give it my all in this one. And he plays it to a T. So
Pretty
let me,
much.
okay, so I'm gonna go down the list of characters before I go down to Goose. You give me one word, or like give me something that describes this character. Okay, Mikey.
Annoying.
First of all, Mikey and what's his name? Eddie from It. Got
Same kid.
they
Same kid.
stop using an inhaler. You don't use it. Inhaler's not used like that. And you know what it remind me of? I know you remember that. I know you remember the Primatine Mist commercials.
I do. It's only for emergencies.
Literally, there are these Eddie and this kid are in the Primatine Mist commercials, sucking up all the. How does he have anything left? His lungs is wide open.
Exactly. Like, bro,
You're
you should no
good.
longer have asthma.
And you got the cure in that. Every time you take a puff, you done got the cure.
Right.
All right, Brand.
Mm, let's skip him.
Okay. Brand is the ultimate big brother. That's what I give Brand. Brand is the ultimate. And I love Brand's character in here because even though he yells at his kid brother,
He's
he
still
loves
goofy.
me. He's still goofy and he loves his brother to death. You know what I mean? Just the scenes where Josh Brolin and Mikey are together, they almost, you could just feel that they got a really good chemistry together. All right.
And the reason why I say he was goofy is when they were talking about the stuff that was upstairs in the attic.
Yeah.
It was like he's like, oh yeah, let's go. Like, you know, it's like he was with the boys and his brother was like, no, what are you doing? It should have been the other way around, but
It should have been the other way around. Yeah. All right. Chunk.
he's so funny. He's
The
funny.
highlight. The
It's
highlight.
the highlight of this movie.
The highlight.
When he does the truffle shuffle, it's just like he makes his face when he does it.
Yeah, like, that kid's comedic timing is amazing in this movie. All right, Mouth.
Oh, it's a badass kid.
He's
It's a
bad.
badass kid.
He is bad. He's not Stan. And I'm comparing him to the kids from It.
Mm-mm.
He's
He's like the bully, but mixed with Richie.
Richie, yeah, he reminds me of a bully type of Rick.
Yeah.
Really, he's the prankster of
Yeah.
all of it because everything
So
he
he's
does is,
Richie.
yeah, he's
He's Richie.
Richie. All right, Andy, which is the young lady.
Oh, I can't stand her.
And
Oh, I can't stand her. She a floozy.
yeah,
She a floozy.
oh man. All right, Steph.
Because she's the sidekick, I kind of felt sorry for her.
Yeah. She
I
most
kind of felt,
definitely got the short end
yeah.
of the part of the movie. They kind of treated her. I mean,
I
she's
think
a
the plot
dorky.
twist. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, to me, she's the typical 80s dorky sidekick. So they most definitely stereotyped her. Go ahead.
In my movie, I would have plot twisted it, and she like, Andy wouldn't have ended up with Bran and Steph would have ended up together because he probably would have looked at her and been like, oh, like she lost her glasses while they were down there, and what if he like looked at her and was like, damn, I know
Yeah,
you was
she's
that
cute. Yeah.
cute.
And she's not an ugly girl. They
And
just
she's not ugly at all.
yeah, they just made her with the short hair. In the 80s, if you had short hair, you was considered a D word that I can't because I don't want to have the community on me. But yeah, that's what
Exactly.
they were kind of insinuating in the
Exactly.
80s. Okay, Data.
Such a cutie. He's such a cutie. I love everything about Lil Data. Like he go gadget.
Yeah, he's most
Go
definitely
gadget boxing glove.
he's most definitely Inspector Gadget in this mug. Inspector Data Batman. Because this man who lets their kid, first of all, who put the rope so he can I mean, what'd you call that? When they hold down the thing to the next house.
Zip
Line. Yeah. Who did that?
His mama didn't even know. Right into their front door though. Like
right into the front door. Right. And busted the screen door. Data's amazing. And what's funny is that a lot of people gave him flack for being so annoying in Indiana Jones. Is it Temple Doom?
He was in pretty much all the Indiana Jones.
Yeah, but he was the sidekick he was
Temple
the main in Temple of Doom. And a lot of people gave him a lot of flack because they said he was annoying, which I didn't think that, but I guess okie dokie, man.
Okay, but
Mr. Jonesy.
He's a
kid. Yeah, he's a kid. Yeah, a kid who could drive a like a 1947 Dodge.
I'm just saying, we all got our talents.
Yeah. All right, Sloth.
Oh,
that's who I felt sorry for.
No, me too.
Yeah,
I was like, your mama don't even love you enough to let you. She chained you up. She chained you up in the basement. And then your brother was throwing food at you, bro. I promise you.
He got it. They got them comeuppance.
That's what I'm saying. He was like, oh, y'all want to play? Okay, don't worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry about it.
All right, Jake Fratelli.
Oh, the Fratelli brothers.
Yeah, the Fratelli brothers. Jake, the smooth one.
The one that sings? Is that the one that sings? The one that sings? Oh, he definitely was smooth. Like he was just like, except for the scenes with Sloth. Like, no.
Yeah, he was
the one that was throwing food at him.
Who was throwing food, right? I did like Jake, because Jake was it's something about you have a movie like this and he's supposed to be a bad guy, but he's also so theatrical.
Exactly.
Just singing out of the blue,
charismatic, and you like, damn, I'm kind of rooting for you, but I kind of want you to lose.
I ain't gonna lie, he got a different daddy. He got a different.
All three of them got different daddies.
Because I'm trying to figure out who Mama Fratelli was sleeping around. Now she the floozy. Because now I can see. Okay, let's go to Francis. Francis and Jake look like, they are opposite sides of the coin. But Francis
was a nerd,
the bumbling idiot. That's the one that got snapped on for being an idiot. Because Mama Fratelli was snapping on him.
That's what I said. She favored Jake over him. Like, and I guarantee it has something to do with their daddies.
It got to. It
You
gotta
look
have
like
this.
you look like your punk ass daddy. That's what you wanted to tell him.
I should have swallowed. Oh, it's hard, mama. He gonna be like, my mama. When I was 37, my mama said,
You
"All right,
wrong. You
Mama
wrong.
Fratelli,
She's a boss.
boss
She's a boss. She's a boss. Like, I mean, she didn't even know she didn't even know she was sitting on top of a gold mine.
on top of it."
She didn't even know. But when she found out, oh
We
no,
gonna
goes
go.
bar.
We gonna get that treasure.
Oh, we gonna go get this
It
gold.
was a lot of it. It
Yeah.
was a lot, which is
And
crazy that the people who built that house didn't dig a little deeper. They just built it on top of. I mean, they just built it on top of treasure. All right, Rosalita. Even though her smart part is small,
poor thing. Poor thing dealing with mouth.
she was like, "I ain't never going to these white people house ever again.
but
I'm out."
but she's the reason why everybody got to stay in the Goondocks.
She is.
She's the
She
reason
is.
why.
She is.
Cause she was being nosy. She's about to steal something. That y'all thought you think Rosalita was about to take. That's why she was in them pockets.
Mm-hmm.
And then she was like, she wasn't yelling like, "Oh, don't sign, don't sign." No, she was yelling, "I'm getting paid."
Yeah. I'm rich, bitch.
Exactly. Mouth just translated it wrong.
Right. Mrs. Walsh.
Oh, that dipsy do.
Mikey and his mama are the same person.
Some dipsy dudes.
The same
He was like, she don't speak the English. I was like, neither do you.
at all. At all. All right, so let me give you a couple things that you probably didn't know. This is trivia time, so I'm gonna give you a couple things that you didn't know. Did you know when rocks are falling from the cave ceiling, Ki Hong, I think it's Ha Kwan, screams holy shit. He said he spelled the explicit because his mother made him promise not to use any bad language in the film.
And he does not cuss in this whole
He's
movie.
the only kid that doesn't cuss in this film.
He doesn't cuss the whole movie.
Let me see. The pirate ship was entirely real. All the shots were filmed in the ship. After the film, it was offered to anyone who would take it. No one wanted it, so the ship was scrapped.
Wow.
All right.
I mean, just imagine who wants to have a big ass pirate ship
In their house.
in their backyard.
In their backyard. I mean, technically, you could have boats in holes, but I mean, I'm just saying, I would have.
You gonna put it in your backyard?
Yeah. They be like, man, this dude got a pirate. First of all, I'm the first homie, I'm the first nigga on the block with a pirate ship, son. What you want, son?
I can't with you. I probably, then again, I probably would have took that damn pirate shirt.
Yeah, thank
and
you.
turned into a she cave and be like, yeah. So welcome to my mansion.
I'm telling you, there's a lot of things you can do on the ship. I'm just saying. And rock the boat, and rock the boat.
You know
what? All right.
All right.
Did you know Robert Davey, who is a trained opera singer, which is amazing, came up with the idea where he sings the Slav from Giacomo Puccini's opera Madame Butterfly.
Oh, nice.
Did I say that right? Madama Butterfly.
Madam.
Yeah, it's Madam. Golly. God, I need to go back to school. All right. Oh my God. Okay. Did you know producer designer Michael Riva said in a National Public Radio interview that before shooting the first scene with the prop map, he thought it looked good, but not old enough. So in his hotel room, he aged it with coffee, and he couldn't find paint in his own blood. You talking
Okay,
about
Patty Dewey, we glad you threw that away then. That's gross.
the man put his blood, sweat, and
That's gross.
tears into
No,
this.
blood, sweat, no. That's nasty. That's unsanitary.
All right. Did you know the main characters referred to by nicknames, and their real names are either rarely mentioned or not mentioned at all? Mikey is Michael Wash. Mouth is Clark Duvernay. Data is Richard Wayne. Richard Wayne, y'all. Richard Wayne, y'all. So my man grew up to be Dick Wayne.
We not gonna do that. We not gonna do that.
Oh my God. I did not know that. This is new to me. Richard
Yeah.
Wayne. Bran is Brandon Walsh. Chuck is Lawrence Cohen. Andy is Andrea. Teresa Carmichael. Steph is Stephanie Steinbrenner. And Sloth is Lotney Fratelli.
Oh.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna give you a few more, and then we're gonna go to some goofs, and we're gonna wrap this up. All right, the Goonies oath was cut out, and goes as following: I would never betray my Goondock friends. We will stick together until the whole world ends, through heaven and hell and nuclear war. Good pals like us will stick like tar in a city or country, or the forest or the boonies. I'm proudly declared a fellow Goonie. The
Gang gang.
Goonies.
Gang gang.
All right. Oh, I got to tell you this. All right. Did you know One Eye Willie's skull was made from real bones?
Okay, that doesn't surprise me at all because I just found out that the skeletons that they used in Poltergeist were real.
Mm.
So the 80s, yeah, they actually would use real human skulls and bones for their movies.
Hmm. Oh, okay. Did you know this? Jeff Cohen got the chicken pox after he got the role of Chunk. Showed up to the set anyway, afraid that he would be have replaced. They would have replaced him otherwise.
Oh,
I give
that's
him
dedication.
props. That
Okay,
hey,
Chunk.
that's why he gives the performance that he does.
Mm-hmm.
Because they was like, hey, I almost didn't get it. I'm about to give it my all. All right. Last, did you know Cindy Lauper co-wrote the theme song "Goonies Are Good Enough" and shot a music video that features a cameo by the film's executive producer Steven Spielberg. The 12-minute video basically tells the movie story as a musical. Cindy Lauper plays Cindy, a new Goonie recruit. The Bangles play Pirates, and Andre Rene Rusimov plays Slav. The child actors from the movie also appear.
Oh, now I have to go back and watch that 12-minute video.
Yeah, shit. I don't know if I want to watch Cindy Lauper in a 12-minute video. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I mean, I like Cindy Lauper, but I don't like her that much. I
I don't even
don't.
remember seeing this video growing up.
I don't either. But Cindy Lauper does make a cameo in the Goonies movie, as when they were watching TV, he was watching there's a scene where they're watching TV, and she appears singing a song
She's singing
on
that song.
singing a song on a movie. So yes.
She's
All right.
singing. She's singing "Goody Goo." Well, I don't think they put it as Goonies are good enough, but she is singing. I guess they're watching the video
The video, yeah.
in the movie.
Yeah, they're watching a video in the movie, so she does have a cameo in this movie. All right, let's get to a few of these goofs at the around the 8 minute mark in the Goonies house. When Mouth, Mike, and Brandon tell Chunk all his made up stories, Mouth tells him about when he said he ate his weight in pizza. Mouth said Godfather's pizza but Mal's Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut refused to be mentioned in the movie, so the shop was overdubbed. He
I
does
bet
a
your
good job
Pizza
out
Hut
of
wish they would have kept it down.
it. Around the 49-minute mark, when the people in the car reveal themselves to Rita Fratelli's, Jake Fratelli starts to sing a song in Italian. When the camera turns to show Chunk screaming, you can still hear Frank singing, yet you see him in the mirror and his mouth is closed. That's what I was talking. I literally caught it. I'm like, man ain't
Mm-mm.
singing. I mean, and I ain't gonna lie. The brother got a beautiful voice, though. He
He
does have.
does.
He has
He
a
does.
beautiful. He does have a beautiful voice. I wish I could do some opera, boy. Man, you sound like a cat getting killed. All right, when the Goonies first walk into the tunnel, Andy says, "We've been walking forever. How far do we plan on going?" While mouthing something else,
They just
like.
let it go.
This is what happens when you go in the post and you overdub stuff. Like I
Mm-hmm.
literally did my I literally was going to do this. So I did a trailer reaction to the international version of The Flash, right? Which is
Mm-hmm.
on YouTube right now. Go ahead and check that out. I accidentally said trailer breakdown instead of trailer reaction. So instead of
Oh.
overdubbing myself, it sounded and blocking it out, but like reaction, your trailer reaction. You know how they used to do. I just
Yeah.
I just had to mark its reaction in the subtitle, so they'll
Oh.
know I'm not stupid. But yeah, it does happen. Okay, around the 40-minute mark, when the Goonies are arguing in the basement of a restaurant, Mikey calls Josh Brolin his actual name, Josh, instead of Brand, his character name. I didn't catch that.
I
He
didn't
must
catch
have
that
did it
either.
so quick. I didn't catch that. All right. Around the 16-minute mark during the attic scene, Data is seen looking at items. He turns to Brand and says, "Don't touch it, Josh." Referring to Brand as Josh Brolin. Later on in the basement scene, is this oh yeah, they're literally was calling each other by their real names.
I mean, it looked like Josh was the only one getting called by his real name. I mean, y'all should just change his name to Josh at this point.
Literally, they should have just changed it. Around the 25-minute mark, when the Goody boys, minus Brand, ride their bikes to the shore, Mikey drops the map, jumps off his bike to go get it, and leaves his bike in the middle of the road. I did not notice that. Did not notice that. I'm trying to get to some good goofs in there. I mean, all of this is kind of like, oh, check this out. So when the kids are jumping off the off the pirate ship, Data jumps off twice. Did you notice that? Because I didn't notice that.
I did.
I did not notice that. When they dump the jewels into Mikey's mother's hands, her fingernails alternate between painted and bare.
Okay, that's a big goop. Mm.
I did. I didn't notice. I didn't notice that.
Maybe it went from like they like did a scene where he poured it into his dad's hand, and then they did a scene where they poured it into the mom's hand,
Mm-hmm.
and they just forgot which one they went with.
Exactly. That's what it sounded like happened. Okay, during the chase scene with the Fratelli, the police shoot 3 bullets into the back of the Jeep. When Chuck finds the Jeep at the restaurant around the 30-minute mark, the bullet holes are completely in different places.
Mm-mm-mm.
First of all, again, why were they shooting in a residential neighborhood chasing folks? The
They don't
cop.
care.
This is the
They don't care.
cops. They do not care. Let me see. Try to see if there was any good ones. And I mean, there's really that. This is stuff that you can find on IMDb because IMDb, yeah, because there's a lot of. But I do okay. These are some that are plot holes. The plumbing for the relatively modern building found in a lost tunnel indicates that someone had been there since Chester's copper pot was lost. Thus, the tunnels would not be unknown in a local area. And I thought, okay, you got the pipes, and then next to the pipes, the treasure is like again, like I want. How do you miss this? How do you miss this? Okay, it said when the kids come across a dead explorer, they pull a baseball card from his wallet. The card is Lou Gehrig's from the 1973 Topps collection. However, they mentioned he has been down there dead since the 1930s.
How did they make that happen? Or maybe they assumed he'd been down there since the
They
1930s.
had to. All right, last one. The dead guy in the freezer blinks twice around the 45-minute mark. That yeah.
I mean,
And of course, with a movie like this, like honestly, you're having so much fun watching this. You don't care. You don't care that you literally see dudes toilet seat on a extension fly in the air. You don't care if you seen the girl walk the plank twice. You're
right,
having too much fun laughing at all the silliness. Again, this is a mix of Indiana Jones, which Steven Spielberg did Indiana
um,
Jones.
yes, that's what I'm saying.
You know what I
He
mean?
wrote
And
he wrote the Goonies, and
co-wrote
then
the
the kid
Goonies.
that was in the Goonies also
Mhm.
ended up being in Spielberg's
Mhm.
movie.
In movies. So these are, like I said, these are movies to me you need to have fun with. Stop over analyzing the silliness of these movies because they're supposed to be silly. It's like you can answer this. It's like I don't think we go to the movies to have fun anymore. And I know people make fun of me because I like Ant-Man and the Wasp and the Quantumania and I like the version of MODOK. You know why? Because it's silly and it's
Right,
supposed to be stupid. And it's
right,
supposed to, it's like you missing it. It's
right,
supposed to be silly. It's not if you wanna go to the comic book, if you want to get mad at this character, go back to the comic book and just read that version. Like they're trying to have fun with this stuff.
right.
And I think we missed. I think we missed that. Go ahead.
I mean, I have to agree. Like when I go to the movies, I don't I mean, even though I do movie reviews and things like that, I don't go in the movies with a critic mindset. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like, and that's the problem. A lot of people go in with the critic mindset. Like,
Hmm.
I'm coming to watch this movie because I want to see everything that I can nitpick and see what's wrong with it
Hmm.
instead of just
Exactly.
enjoying it, you know?
Hmm.
And even when we have, people who go back and redo, like go back like we're doing and going back and watch all these old movies from the 80s.
Hmm.
Don't go in with the mindset that you have right now. Like
Right.
go in and
Exactly.
understand that this is the 80s. Nothing
Hmm.
will make sense. And it's not supposed to. It's supposed to be fun. It's
Supposed to
supposed to
be
be fun.
silly.
It's supposed to be silly. Nobody would know. The Goonies is not Stand By Me.
It's not. Even though it does have some elements of Stand By Me,
Right. But Stand
but
By
it's
Me is like more of a serious
serious.
movie.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's a
Yeah.
serious 80s movie. The Goonies ain't serious. Like
At all.
all these goofs, I didn't catch them. You know why? I'm not paying attention. Even if I did catch it, like I was like, oh, okay. And I move past it. Like it's not something I will be stuck on. And, oh man, Data didn't cuss. You know what I'm saying? Or the girl's mouth ain't moving when she's saying these words. I don't give a damn.
Mhm. Right. Because you're too busy like enjoying and I've been preaching that a lot. Like go to the movies to have fun. And a
Mm-hmm.
lot of us older um I say because I'm doing movie reviews. I mean, I critique movies, but I try to find okay, what's the fun in it? I
Right.
know the Fast and the Furious franchise is the silliest stuff now. At the same time, it reminds me of the action blockbusters of the 80s because
Mm-hmm.
they were you go back and watch Action Jackson right now, and you can be like, a lot of this stuff is silly, but it's fun. And then
Yeah.
when somebody, and like my man Devin Clark said, you see somebody go down by Action Jackson, dead. Kicked by Wang Wang, dead. You're supposed to be fun.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
supposed to be fun, so go and have fun. So, in your okay, if you were ranking this, rank it from okay, three. I mean, I'm sorry. Let's rank it out of five Goonies skulls. what would you give it? Out of five Goonies, one eye Willie skulls, what would you give it?
Probably a 3.5.
Three
Only
and a half,
because, yeah, only
one eye
because
Willie skulls.
it, yes, a 3.5, because obviously, yes, I understand that it's the 80s, but the story, like you said, it is never mentioned why they wanted to go find this treasure. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't, it was just they just wanted to go on an adventure, right?
Mm-hmm.
They knew that they were about to lose their home. We understood that. But like, if coming from the aspect of, hey, if we find this treasure, we can save our town. Like
Mm-hmm.
that type of thing. Like, that's what we're used to seeing in 80s movies. It's like, hey, if we find this treasure, we're gonna save our town. No, that wasn't like that in the Goonies. They was
Treasure.
just like,
We
"Hey, we want to
own
go
it.
on an adventure."
Mm-hmm.
And then when they came across the jewels, they was like, "Yo, we can save our town."
That was an afterthought. It
Right? It
was
was
an
an afterthought. Like,
was an
let's go on this
afterthought.
adventure. This is now. Oh, hey, we got the jewels to save the town. Okay, and then that whole part, like with the people showing up to their house and be like, they need to sign these papers, and I'm like, y'all could have missed me with that part.
Oh, corporate industrialists always want to
Right?
come down and tear up our town. Well, we ain't letting it happen, buddy.
Yeah. I think
Okay,
that was just I think the whole them losing their town storyline was a little eh.
convoluted,
Yeah,
a little
like,
convoluted.
so yeah, three and a
Well,
half.
I'm going to give it four one eye Willie skulls out of five. And the reason why, based on just what you said, but I believe this was the twist. So remember, they found the counterfeit money that the Fratellis was doing. And
Hmm.
remember, Data was like, "Oh snap, $50 bills, we can save the town." So it just so happened to dawn on them when they got the church, like, "Oh snap, we can really do it now." You know what I
Right.
mean? Yes, we want to see if this treasure is real, because the whole thing was like that was the underlying plot was
Right.
we gonna lose our home. We know we gonna move. Rosalita's here. She go. First of all, you ain't gonna tell me to clean up your house if you move. Nah, get your shit and get up out of here. Get up out of here, son. I'm sick
You
of it.
stupid.
But yeah, cause I'm gonna like clean up. You got cocaine in here. I ain't cleaning up nothing. Bet you'll give it to a bear, won't you? But
You
anyway,
stupid.
so that was the underlying tone. So when they did find the treasure, it almost like it clicked back. Like we had a chance to do it before. Now we have a real chance to do it. So that's why they brought the jewels, all of that. It's a fun adventure. They do go on an adventure. And as a kid, I don't know how many adventures I made up in my mind outside or inside. And it was just like these kids are doing what we always wanted to do as
Exactly.
kids in the 80s, going outside. Let's go have an adventure. Let's go have fun. Let's go and enjoy ourselves. And that's what these kids had. And that's what I absolutely enjoyed in this. Is there some 80s silliness that could kind of take you a little bit out of it? Yeah, there's some 80s silliness. But again, what 80s movie? Caddyshack had the same type of humor, all of this,
Hmm.
and just a different bag. I know you guys did Howard the Duck. There's just some humor that might take you out of it when you're an adult, but if you go back and let that little kid come out in you, you're gonna enjoy it and have fun.
Exactly.
All right,
Exactly.
all right. So that is the review on the throwback review on the Goonies, a classic 80s adventure. Meka G, go ahead, tell them where they can find you. Tell them where they can find you, and tell them what you got going on next. And I,
Really? That's how you feel?
oh my God, tell them.
I can't. So, you can find me on Instagram. That's so Meka G, like that's so Raven, but instead of Raven, Meka G, Meka, not Mecca. Okay, just want to throw that out there. You can also find me on TikTok, although I don't really TikTok as much, but it's that's so Mika G to you. You can also find me every Tuesday, not Thursday, Tuesday, Saturdays, or sometimes Fridays on Popcorn in Your Beard, and every Wednesday on Blues House Live. Starting time for both shows is 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. and I don't have anything coming up. Not yet. I can't share my secret yet. Oh, I feel so bad. One day.
One day she's
One
gonna
day.
come back and share the secret. Hopefully with me, but I might have to catch it on Blue's House of Popcorn in Your Live. Popcorn in Your Live. Popcorn
Popcorn
in
in your
your
life, huh?
popcorn in your beard. It's like Flortree said, it's getting late. It
Mhm.
is getting late. And I just noticed now that I changed a lot of my aesthetics, it's the same color as the Goonies colors. I love a lot of people don't understand my infatuation with orange, but orange is
Mhm.
literally my favorite color. All shades of orange is my favorite color. I don't wear a lot of orange because it clashes with my skin tone.
Aw.
It does. It makes me look like a tangerine. So I
Not a tangerine.
yeah, it's because it's so because the color of my skin and the actual oranges that I like, it literally it's not one that goes good with my skin complexion.
You'll be fine.
Unfortunately, but that is my favorite. That's my favorite color along with blue and black. So if you notice the new colors, orange, a little bit of gray here, the black, but yeah, and then when I was doing my new logo, I love the way that purplish bluish color kind of clash. So I went ahead and
Mhm.
was like, hey, I love that. I love that. It's a little bit different. Got the new music playing. This is some music that I made a long time ago. And I was like, man, I'm just sitting on this music. Let me do it. I want the show to be a little bit more upbeat and stuff. So
Mhm.
change the music, everything. So you better like it. Yeah, I'm yelling at
Dang.
you. Look at my finger. You better like it.
I can't.
All right. For the crew of One Eye Willie and all of us, We're gonna get out of here. Mika, thank you so very much for hanging on. Please stay backstage for me, and of course, I always appreciate love when you come on. You know what I'm saying? All of that. So thank you, and just hang out backstage, and I will get to you at the end. All right, so this has been another episode of the Dre Mag Show. Of course, all you got to do is like, share, subscribe to the channel. Make sure that you hit the bell notification so you never, ever miss one of my videos. And again, make sure to check this out, man. Make sure to put in the comment section. Do you like Goonies? Have you ever seen the Goonies? What is one of your favorite 80s movies? Make sure to put it in the comment section below. Again, I thank you so very much for coming in here and hanging with me. You already know what time it is. Once you
The song is
hear,
real simple, B. It says wrap it up. Wrap that up, B.
all right, let me get up out of here. Thank you again so very much. Peace and vibe power. I love y'all. Where my outro at? If you came to this part of the video, thank you so very much for sticking to the end. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell notification so you never miss one of my videos. And if you want to get a little bit more personal with me, make sure that you follow the social media links that's down below. Until next time, I'll holler at you guys later. Peace and vibe higher.